Streaming right now at 5:30, remembering Dr. Norman C. Francis. Tonight, Louisiana mourns a legend. Dr. Norman C. Francis, civil rights icon and former Xavier University of Louisiana president, dies at 94, leaving a legacy of education, service, and change. A look back at a life that impacted generations. World leaders and communities continue to mourn the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson, a legacy of civil rights, courage, and change remembered tonight. Shock during Mardi Gras. A young child taken to the hospital after allegedly being hit by a thrown bottle during the Zulu parade. What officials are saying tonight. Lent begins, a time of reflection, Ash Wednesday marking the start of Lent for Christians worldwide. Details about this 40-day period and how you can find ashes on the go tonight. New rules for food assistance in Louisiana, why some SNAP purchases are now off the table and what it means for families starting tonight. Tragedy in the mountains, a 3-day ski trip turns deadly. What authorities are saying about the intense storms and rugged terrain hindering efforts to locate and recover victims. Shark attacks on the rise globally, but experts say risks remain low. What's new about these numbers tonight and what they are revealing about bites in the U.S. and around the world. And Jeff Morrow standing by with a look at your rain chances in your first look forecast.
You're watching WAFB's streaming newscast, live and local, with Dion Guillory. This is 9 News at 5:30.
We start streaming tonight at 5:30 with the passing of Dr. Norman C. Francis, the legendary civil rights leader and former president of Xavier University. Francis died early this morning at Ochsner Hospital in New Orleans. He was 94 years old. For 50 years, he led the university, the nation's only Catholic, historically black university in the Western Hemisphere, transforming it into a powerhouse for medical education. He was the first black president of the institution. Beyond Xavier's walls, Dr. Francis played key roles in the civil rights movement and Hurricane Katrina recovery. He advised 8 U.S. presidents and received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Congressman Troy Carter is calling the loss of Dr. Francis deeply personal. In a statement, Carter said Dr. Francis was his mentor, a servant leader, and a giant who shaped not only an institution, but his family's destiny. He shared that his mother graduated from Xavier University in 1971 as a mother of 6. Under Francis's leadership, Carter described him as an institution builder, civil rights champion, and believer that education is the pathway to justice, saying in his family's case, he was right. Governor Jeff Landry also posting a tribute, saying Norman Francis was a tremendous icon in both civil rights and education. His courage and vision shaping Xavier University into the institution it is today. He will be deeply missed by all. Sharon and I are praying for the Francis family and trust he is reunited in heaven with his wife, Blanche. Southern University saying it is mourning the passing of Dr. Francis. In a statement, the university said Southern and Xavier University of Louisiana share a deep and enduring kinship as historically black institutions committed to access, excellence, and service. Leaders say they honor a life defined by service, courage, and an unrelenting pursuit of excellence, and say Dr. Francis's legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. And his impact has been felt among students who walked Xavier's campus. And I'm joined by Xavier alums Sherry Moriel Osbury and Dr. Charlene Senegal DeQueer. Thank you both for joining us under these circumstances. I am excited about this conversation as a Xavier alum myself. But Sherry, I want to start with you. Not only were you a graduate of Xavier, but you also Dr. Francis's goddaughter. What is your first memory of him?
You know, I had a front row seat as our families were pretty much conjoined together, because both of my fathers grew up in Jim Crow and they met at Xavier University many, many years ago. So they became, they had a kinship and a friendship that transcended friends, but for the movement and making change and being change agents in our community and impacting the many lives that they both touched. Dr. Francis primarily was an educator, and his work at Xavier is profoundly, will be historically remembered. The legions of students and people that he's touched and educated and throughout this nation is a reminder of the power of education and leadership and vision and courage that he led with as he made many changes on the Xavier campus. Just his whole his whole demeanor was about helping students. He had an open door policy. I remember as a student,
Yeah.
even though I was, had a familial relationship, he was an educator by trade. That's who he was. And he always had a kind word. He always had an inspirational word to tell a student. Any of us, we can all have a memory of him as a student at Xavier University.
Yeah.
But he transcended the university. He transcended and made changes throughout the nation. His work after Katrina was highly, respected because we needed to get our kids back to learn. And despite the hardship, he made sure that happened.
Yeah. Charlene, I want to ask you, you're currently a professor there, and you were a student while Dr. Francis was a president there, and you became a professor while he was a president there. His leadership, how does that form you as you're teaching the students today?
His leadership and his impact, it was tremendous. So he is from Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. We also went to the same church parish, St. Paul. And so growing up, I knew who he was, and I always said, oh my God, one day I'm gonna go to Xavier, and I'm gonna meet him, and I'm gonna be in his presence. And I actually was. And that was the greatest thing ever. I tell you, Dr. Francis walking in the hall at Xavier as a professor when I went back in 2009, it was like he was a giant. But he was one of those giants that he was approachable.
Yeah.
You could go and talk to him. He would give you advice. He always had a smile on his face, and he always waved at the students. I remember even being a student, we would walk. Anywhere we would see him, he would say good morning, he would smile, he would wave. He always acknowledged us, and that made everyone at Xavier feel like someone. And that's who he was. He was a person that made everyone feel like they were going to be somebody.
It was like a family.
He was a father figure to many, many students, and he raised up doctors and lawyers and PhDs and many, many people that are so we highly respect him, and we think that Xavier University, his 46 years of leading that university, he made tough choices, but as a leader, he led Xavier in a way that it is now world renowned.
Yeah.
If you walk around anywhere, I've worn Xavier paraphernalia in the airports, and they're like, do you go to Xavier? And I'm like, I teach at Xavier. Oh, you must be smart.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I went there too. I'm
Right.
smart too.
Yeah.
And that's the legacy of Dr. Francis. He is just, his spirit will always be in the hallways of Xavier. And I remember my office was down the way from his, on the same floor, and I used to see him all the time. So I was there from 2009 to 15 when he retired, and it was amazing. It was
time.
always a joy to see him in the halls.
We're running out of time, but I want to ask one last question. What would you say to him if you could talk to him right now?
I would say job well done, and your legacy will live forever. Through Xavier and through all of the lives that you've touched, all of the families that you've transformed, and that rest peacefully because he earned it.
Yeah. Sure.
That he was, I thank you. Thank you for bringing us, for your civic leadership, for your vision, for giving us inspiration to keep going and keep moving, that we are all important to this community and to this nation, and that servant leadership and faith is profoundly part of who he was, and we thank him for that. We thank him for what he's done for everyone, and we appreciate him and we'll love him, and he's transcended the university into another level that will never be, it'll be historically remembered.
Yeah, and very well known for putting African Americans into medical school.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies, so much for giving us that insight. I know a little bit since I'm an Xavier alum, but for all our viewers out there, giving them a little insight to this. Thank you again so much. All right, and tributes continue to pour in for the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson. King Charles said in a statement today, the Reverend Jesse Jackson will be remembered for his inspiring legacy and his profound impact on countless people around the world. I remember with great fondness meeting him in 2015 as we paid our respects at the Martin Luther King Jr. memorial in Washington, D.C. Much like Dr. King, Reverend Jackson's tireless commitment to civil rights and social justice had a profound impact on countless people around the world. Baton Rouge Mayor President Sid Edwards also releasing a statement saying Reverend Jesse Jackson was a trailblazer whose courage helped shape a better America. His life's work inspired generations. Here in Baton Rouge, we honor his legacy. Well, it is Ash Wednesday, which means the start of the Christian season of Lent. During church services, the faithful receive crosses of ash on their foreheads. Lent is the 40-day period leading up to Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and Easter. This year, Easter falls on Sunday, April 5th. For most Christians, this is Pope Leo's first Ash Wednesday as head of the Catholic Church. Now, if you want to get your ashes, there are many places to go in our viewing area. Our digital team is keeping this running list of places where you can get ashes on the go. It's not too late for many of them on that list, and we're showing you where those services are being offered. The full list can be found right now on our website, WFB.com, and on the 9 News app. Well, if you have extra beads from all those Mardi Gras parades over the last few weeks, don't let them go to waste. The Arc Baton Rouge is looking for bead donations, so stop by anytime between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Your donations are going to a great cause. Well, an investigation is underway tonight after the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club says it is deeply disturbed by a serious incident during its Mardi Gras parade. Officials say a 4-year-old boy was hit in the head by a liquor bottle that was allegedly thrown from the second level of a float. The child was taken to the hospital. The city of New Orleans says it is deeply troubled by the report and confirms an investigation is now underway. Zulu leaders say they are looking into the incident and taking the matter very seriously. Also in New Orleans, Shia LaBeouf is out on bond. The actor currently facing 2 counts of simple battery after an alleged bar fight on Mardi Gras Day. Our team in New Orleans, WAFB, they spotted him on Bourbon Street last night just moments after he was released.
God bless you guys. Mardi Gras is amazing.
What's the best thing about it? You've been posting up here all night. What are you doing?
The people.
Well, New Orleans police say LaBeouf was released on the condition that he would appear in court. The NOPD adds 2 men accuse him of punching them after making a scene at a restaurant near the corner of Royal Street and Esplanade Avenue. All right, now to the weather. It was a sunny day with a bit of fog. Jeff Morrow standing by with a look at more fog and a cold front heading our way. Jeff.
Well, atmospheric conditions will be problematic for the potential for some fog as we look towards the morning start tomorrow. Mainly patchy fog in our forecast. Average visibility is between 1 and 3 miles. Not ruling out the possibility of a pocket of dense fog, but probably only need to give yourself an extra minute or 2 out the door. 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. that is the time frame that we're going to be seeing fog most prevalent tomorrow and again on Friday. Keep an eye out for that fog. We'll also keep an eye out for kids in area school bus stops if they're back at school or in neighborhoods playing. If they're still off of school, use those low beam headlights. Very mild start to the morning. That's one of the elements for fog development is those warm temperatures. You can see mid 60s to start the day, low 80s for daytime highs, squeezing out maybe a stray shower in the forecast late in the afternoon to the early evening hours. Not too problematic though. Probably don't even need to grab the umbrella. You'll notice we are tracking a cold front as we get into the weekend. What a temperature drop this front is going to provide. Highs in the 80s leading up to it, but we may see highs only around 60 degrees for the first half of next week. But it's the morning starts that could have some patchy frost and maybe some light freezes in our future. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes, Dion.
All right, Jeff, thanks. Authorities say 8 skiers have been found dead following an avalanche near California's Lake Tahoe. Esteban Reynoso has the latest on the search.
Authorities searching for missing skiers following an avalanche in California made a grim announcement Wednesday.
8 of the 9 additional skiers have been located deceased. We are still looking for one of the members at this time.
The Nevada County Sheriff's Office says they were part of a group of 15 skiers and guides who were on a 3-day trip in the Castle Peak area near Lake Tahoe when intense storms moved in on Tuesday, dumping several feet of snow.
It was reported by the individuals that survived that they were attempting to go out as a group, that someone saw the avalanche, yelled avalanche, and then it overtook them rather quickly.
Authorities say 6 members of the group were rescued overnight and sustained varying injuries.
2 of the 6 were not mobile. They could not walk.
The area where it happened is known for deep snow and rugged terrain with no trails and no ski patrol. The sheriff's office said because of the conditions, it took several hours to get resources deployed.
Lots of snow, gale force winds, winds making it impossible to see.
The Nevada County Sheriff says it still has to recover the victims, but the snow conditions are making the process difficult. Esteban Reynoso, CBS News, Nevada City, California.
Well, it is day 5 of the partial government shutdown, and both sides say the ball to end the impasse is in the other's court. Erica Brown with more from Capitol Hill.
As the partial government shutdown continues, the White House rebuffed the latest proposal from congressional Democrats to end the stalemate and fund the Department of Homeland Security.
Last night, they sent over a counter proposal that frankly was very unserious, and we hope they get serious very soon because Americans are going to be impacted by this.
Democrats remain firm in their demands for significant reforms to ICE and DHS oversight, including requiring federal agents to get judicial warrants before entering private property and remove masks during operations.
Republicans have decided that they would rather shut down FEMA, shut down TSA, and shut down the Coast Guard than get ICE under control.
So far, negotiations to end the impasse are only taking place among staffers, with Democratic leaders and the president still not engaging in direct talks.
It doesn't mean he's not willing to. I'm just not aware of any conversations that have taken place.
I'm not averse to sitting down with any high-level members of the administration if, in good faith, they are prepared to discuss the type of dramatic changes that are needed.
In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security warned a prolonged shutdown would impact more than 200,000 DHS employees and could lead to disruptions with the TSA, FEMA, and the Coast Guard. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
All right, still streaming here at 5:30. When we come back, Jeff Morrow is here with when we could see another freeze.